Here we're going to go through two examples practicing converting an equation to slope-intercept form. In slope-intercept form, always starts off with a y, and then there's some number multiplied by x, that's the slope, and then there's a number added at the end, and that's your y-intercept. So let's start off and try to move everything away from the y. So we have the y by itself on the left side. So y is being multiplied by -4, and also we're subtracting 7x. So I'm going to add 7x to both sides, because minus 7x plus 7x is 0. So we're left with 4y. Am I missing something? It's not just 4y, it's minus 4y or negative 4y. And on the right side we have a 16 plus 7x. Now let's undo that multiplying by 4 by dividing by 4. -4. And that means we have to divide the whole right side by -4 as well. So you could write it like this, but what you're really doing is you are dividing each of the terms on the right side by -4. So even if you write it the other way, you want to think of it like this. So on the left side, anything divided by itself is 1, so we're just left with 1y. And on the right side, I have 16 divided by -4. And then I have a positive divided by a negative. A positive 7 divided by a -4 is going to be a negative. And with slope, you typically leave that as a fraction. So I'm going to just leave it as 7/4 x. All right, I got my y by itself. That's good. But if I look at the right side, it's not quite in slope-intercept form. I want the x to be first, and then just the regular constant. So we need to switch spots. And you can do that because of the commutative property. Anything that's added or subtracted, you can always switch the spots. So this becomes y equals, let's move that negative or minus 7/4 x to the front. Make sure you pull in that minus sign, and this negative or minus 4 to the end. Now we have it in slope-intercept form. So we can see our slope is -7/4, and our y-intercept is -4. Let's try another. Now this one's a little different because the y is on the right side. There's two ways you can do it. You can either move the y over to the left side and the x over here, or you can decide to leave the y on the right side and move the 15 and the 3 over there. And then at the end, if you have something like this, you can always change it. Just switch the sides. This is the same as y equals 3x plus 4. Either way works. You'll get the same answer. I'm going to move the y over to the left side. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 3y because 3y minus 3y is 0. And I have to subtract 3y on the left side as well. So I'm left with 5x minus 3y equals 15. Now this looks a lot like the example we just went over. I want to move things away from the y. So first I'll move my 5x. And that cancels out, and I'm left with -3y equals. And at this point, instead of writing 15 minus 5x, I could save myself a step later and write my x first. Put my minus 5x first and my positive 15 second. Now I'm going to undo that multiplying by -3 by dividing by -3. And remember, I have to divide each thing by -3, each term. Because anything divided by itself is just 1, so you're just left with 1y. And on the right side, what number goes in front of the x? This is saying -5 divided by -3. Is that going to be positive or negative? Positive. And then as a fraction, I would just write it as 5/3. positive 5/3 x. And then positive 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. So now I'm in slope-intercept form. I can see my slope is 5/3 and my y-intercept is negative 5.